Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my day 2 of my 12 days of anime attempt. Today we'll be reviewing High School of the Dead. Be warned, there is so much fan service in this anime, which I will be displaying all over your face. You've been warned. So let's just get started with one thing before I end this off. What the hell? It's always with the blatant nurse. It's always with the nurse. Like the nurse, the motorcycle ride, the bathroom, everything. She's always so ditzy. Oh, look at my giant melons. Again, the melons. It's always the melons. Like, really? Those melons? They're pretty fucking big, though. They're big as a head. That's pretty big. They might be fake. I can't hear you. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. What? I can't hear you. We all know what's going on right there. Seriously. I'm done. Oh god. So this is awkward. So yeah, this isn't my first attempt at reviewing this show. Yeah, so let me give you a better take on how I feel about this, okay? Oh god. Oh god. I'm sorry. Oh god. Oh god, what have I done? The premise of High School of the Dead is simple. A zombie apocalypse strikes the world and a bunch of Japanese high school students band together to survive. Sounds cliche, right? However, this is the problem with many related movies and TV shows. There's little variation. Mysterious virus strikes and ravages the human population, everyone is zombified, few survivors band together. That's really the stable formula for all zombie medium nowadays. However, what makes High School of the Dead stand out, and, well, it's true, it's fan service. Yep, you heard me. What better way to add variation to the zombie apocalypse genre than by throwing in lots and lots of hot girls and boobs? Trust me, I'm not much of a fan of it, but I mean, hey, it's different. Regardless, the story is very well done, and it keeps you interested most of the time. Hell, the opening story is brutal, fast, and a perfect example of media rush. Now that we've established the general plot of the show, it's time to get a little more specific. Let's meet the cast. Characters are usually the most important part of a show like this, and thankfully for the most part, the main cast is full of likable characters who do grow as people throughout the show. My favorite characters were definitely Saeko, a katana-wielding upperclassman who comes off as cool and collective, but does have some serious issues buried inside, and Hirono, an overweight nerd who is always picked on before Z-Day and then becomes the most useful member of the survivors due to his experience with firearms. Takashi is pretty okay, I guess, as a main character for the most part, but he does suffer for essentially being the same old ordinary high school student archetype that you always see in anime, meaning that for every really cool instance being genre suave and content, there is also a very annoying trend that he shares with thousands of other leads. Bizarre, indecisive, and a lack of ability to express his feelings despite the obviousness of what's right in front of him, aka love. Still, he's better than what he could have been, by far, and I love that he manages to act so quickly in the first episode, as almost any other protagonist that I can think of in a zombie apocalypse show would have done a lot more dicking around. The only characters I really disliked were Saya and Shizuka? I don't know, that dang nurse. I didn't like that nurse at all, especially her. Saya is a more, how do I put this, mostly played as a tsundere archetype, but instead of being, you know, an asshole to the other characters for no reason in this show, she's an asshole to the other characters for no reason, despite the fact that they have to constantly defend themselves from a horde of flesh-eating zombies, where Saya is, in my group of saviors, the last person I ever want to be a part of in my zombie apocalyptic group. I would have banned her a long time ago for being such a bitch. No joke, she's kind of fucking bitch, and not even feel the instant bit of guilt for that. And Suzuka, the nurse, just a typical bobblehead blonde cliche at that. Despite not being completely useless, no, just mostly useless, she is devoted of any character's death, as her personality is pretty much stupid blonde woman with huge tits. Although she can sure drive, so I'll give her that. One element of the series that still remains strong is the art animation, hands down, done by Studio Madhouse. High School of the Dead offers excellent visuals throughout, whether it stems from its zombie-ravaged scenes of metropolis chaos to scenes of tranquility as the cherry blossoms slowly fall to the ground amidst at the schoolyard. Madhouse definitely pulled no stops in realizing the world of the series. The dexterity also extends to the rambunctious nature of action sequences found throughout the series as well, with its action sequences within the series being distinct, well choreographed, and brutal all elements that ends up in creative, memorable scenes in literally every episode. Madhouse did a fantastic job with this aspect of the series and really is complimented to the look of the anime series for a visual standpoint. Excellent job. Before I move on, I have one thing about the production I'd like to cover. One thing that is so utterly annoying that it literally made the sole factor of me questioning this anime back and forth. It involves two words, and I've mentioned this before in the earlier part of this review, but that is fan service. So I'm not a proponent of fan service in general, but things in this anime are just way too ridiculous. First, the obvious outlandish female character designs, which one should note that the High School of the Dead's main illustrator, Shoujo Sato, is his first non-hentai title, which certainly does not alleviate his influence from within the genre from being viewed here as well. The characters are really just given distinct appearances that really reminiscent of hentai. Furthermore, every relatively adult female in this show has huge breasts, to the point that animators from hentai productions are probably blushing right now. And goddamn, this show loves to focus on them as much as they can. In addition to all the boobies and cleavage shots, there's an abundance of panty shots all at the same time. Suggestive positioning and near constant sexy posing that serves no other purpose than to titillate with lonely otakus. You can't even make it past the opening sequence without feeling a little creeped out. There's even an entire episode dedicated to watching the female cast in a state of undress. In a show about fucking zombie apocalypse, even the physics of the world are challenged in the name of sexy, taken to its extreme stance in the mid-series episode that I can't even properly describe. I'll just say it involves bullet time and breasts, and I'll leave it at that. If someone new to anime were to watch this show and ask if they were watching softcore porn, I don't think I could blame them for that mistake. That's how bad this really is. The fact that it has an abundance of cheesecake doesn't automatically fail the show is a testament of the strength of the parts I actually enjoyed. But even so, it was jarring the first time through, and it made me kind of cringe most of the time through the second, just to rewatch it for this review. Going back to another main feature of the series that I actually really liked, that would be the sound. The sound is interesting, with the first episode containing background music highly reminiscent of 28 Days Later soundtrack. Other than that, the soundtrack is again at least good as the norm, if not slightly better. Although I really did like the opening, and the EDs for each episode that they gave were really good as well. The voice acting is worth particular notice as well. The voice actors for the English dub and sub do a very credible job giving the animation life and depth. You feel like the characters have real concerns for themselves and others around them, in part due to the voice acting. Considering the subject matter and the medium, it would be easy for the voice actors to really go over the top for their character, but it really never does that. Although I would say the English dub does it way too much with a comedic stance. Well, and of course there are some characters later on down the road that do show up only for a few episodes who do feel like that kind of a character, but they never are seen again afterwards. Zombie shows are very cliche, but High School of the Dead does manage to get a few things right. The cast is full of diverse personalities, and many of them are kind of annoying, I will give it that, but this cast still works. Part of the reason is the element of survival. When thrown in a life or death situation, or us against upon many odds scenarios, the most appealing part is what the group does to survive. Not just by banding together fight, but also working together despite various different personalities and flaws. It's more fun to watch a dysfunctional group work together. Rei may be annoying and her boobs may be all up in my face, but her interactions with Takashi tells a lot. Also, when there is fighting, it doesn't disappoint. Action scenes, as mentioned earlier, are really well animated, and as I stated in the intro, this show lives by fan service. Sure, there's zombies and the killing of said zombies, but what most people will probably remember the show for will be its abundance of boob bouncing. And boy, am I not a fan of boob bouncing in my anime. High School of the Dead is not a masterpiece by any means. However, there really isn't much in this genre to really compare, I'd say. Hey guys, before you guys leave here today, I just want to help something in particular and hopefully help it get a little more exposure. So my buddy Gabriel Genesis and Dustin, or the High Road Bar, happened to start up a brand new Watchmojo list for anime reviewers. Of course, if you guys do remember, I think it was around 9 to 10 months ago, Watchmojo did release a video talking about the top 10 anime reviewers of YouTube of their choice from the polls, and this time me and hopefully a little bit of others are now accepted in this list in the top 10, and we're hoping that at least we can start making a brand new other list to expose more anime reviewers and hopefully help out the anime community in general. So guys, if you guys do want to help out the cause and hopefully maybe give it more exposure, or maybe just select your favorite anime reviewers you'd like to be featured in a Watchmojo video, please guys check out the link down in the description below or click on the annotation, and you guys will be able to go straight to the website, sign up, and hopefully like this entire list and of course help out your favorite anime reviewer. Thanks guys, hope you guys do help out the cause. But anyways, of course, my name is JcGreen. See you guys next time. Peace.